Hi, let's talk for a minute about building the bag. And what I'm going to talk about is the idea of building a bag from a core bag. So what I mean by that, some people, I think it's pretty clear for some people, they have certain discs that they really gravitate to. In most cases, it would be a driver, a mid-range, and a putter. So first of all, for putting, I'm a firm believer that you should have a disc that feels comfortable to you for actual putts. It doesn't necessarily matter the mold. A lot of people like base plastic, but whatever the case may be, whatever you use to putt with is going to be unique to the person, and it's really difficult to give advice other than you need to find a putter that you like and stick with it. So beyond that, the core bag, of course, includes that putting putter, but I also believe it needs to include a driving and approach putter, one that you can throw with a lot of confidence, that you can, what I believe is a good putter shot, is one that you can throw and it might just flip up a tiny bit and ride very straight. That allows you to get up and down, to have quite a bit of control on your distance, that you can throw in a variety of lines too. Even though it flips up a little bit, you can still throw a hyzer with it and have it land relatively flat. You can get it to turn right as well. So I think having that putting putter and having that approach putter, they may or may not be the same mold, but having those two discs I think are vitally important. Going beyond that, for a mid-range, I tend to actually favor a mid-range that also shows a little bit more turn. So some people might have at their core of their bag a mid-range that is very straight stable, that even when you put a lot of power behind it, it's going to ride very straight and even fade off to the left at the end for a right-hand backhand thrower. I prefer a disc that actually will turn just a bit so that you can throw it with hyzer and shoot it straight, or again, get those lines out of it similar to a putter. For me, that disc is an Axis. It holds a lot of lines, and really that stability just works quite well for me. And what I choose to complement that with in my core bag is a resistor, which is a very short-range, overstable disc, which again, I think it should be a core disc for a lot of people. A disc that isn't going to just be fighting to get to the ground, but instead will hold straight for a bit, but is going to have that consistent fade for there's quite a few holes which are going to be in that 300 feet and under range, and are going to want you to go left, again, right-hand, backhand. So those discs so far: a putting putter, an approach putter, a mid-range that's a straight shooter that you can manipulate lines with, and a short-range overstable disc. And beyond that, for me and the core of my bag, there's only one other disc. Several companies make something similar, but what I like is a disc that's from about speed 7 to about speed 9, with just a tiny bit of turn and with consistent fade. And I tend to like that type of disc because it, again, as I've said a few times so far in this video, it really is great at manipulating lines. So I like a disc, especially for drives, if I can really start it hard on hyzer, have it flip up, it really carries straight for a lot of its flight, but it has that stability to come back at the end. Or if I choose to start it on anhyzer, that a disc with just a tiny bit of turn at the beginning will ride to the right and just pan out a little bit. And those two types of shots, again, cover quite a bit of what you see from a course, where you have to get those lines for long distance. So finishing slightly left or finishing slightly right. So again, that's the type of driver that I look for. So my core bag really only is probably 4 or maybe 5 discs. I'm curious to hear what's in your core bag. If you only had a few discs to carry, what would you choose? Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and look forward to hearing from you soon.